The following presentation of this Channel 22 Sports Game of the Week is brought to you in part by a generous donation from the Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites, South Bay. The Holiday Inn Express is partnering with Channel 22 Sports to help promote our young people in sports competition and academics so that everyone in our community wins. The Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites. Stay smart. The following presentation of this Channel 22 Sports Game of the Week is brought to you in part by a generous donation from the South Bay Workforce Investment Board. The South Bay Workforce Investment Board is working together with Channel 22 Sports to promote an environment where everyone can maximize their career potential and so that all employers have the human resources they need to grow and prosper. The South Bay Workforce Investment Board. When you need us, we're there for you. The preceding presentation of the Channel 22 Sports Game of the Week is brought to you in part by a generous donation from Ralph's Food for Less, the nation's premier price impact supermarket chain. Food for Less is proud to be working with the community to enhance the lives of everyone by providing a diverse selection of products and customer service and by reaching out to support the communities in which we serve.
All right, good evening, fans. I'm Rufus Washington, joined by Mark Helmer. Welcome to another exciting Channel 22 Sports presentation. We are in the second round of the CIF 2006 Boys Division I AA Basketball Playoff. Mark, we're down here at San Clemente High School, home of the Tritons, and there's already electricity in the air.
3,000 people make up the student body here, and I've been in a lot of high school gyms in my time, and this is one of the prettiest I have ever seen. They have wallpapered this place with championship banners going back to 1965, and this is apparently a pretty good secret kept in high school sports I didn't know about.
And they even have season ticket seats right back. That's another first for me, not having seen
Jack
that.
Nicholson is about 4 seats away, right?
Exactly. This promises, though, to be an exciting matchup. San Clemente came in as a wild card team, got a first-round win, 54-1 over Santa Ana Valley. Leuzinger, of course, the number 4 seed. But tonight, they've got to deal with one of the largest kids I've ever seen in high school sports, big 6'10", Taylor Harrison.
This is one of 3 things to look for tonight. San Clemente finished 4th in the South Coast League, which I guess you understand is a pretty tough one down here in Orange County. The 3 things I'm looking for are height, 3-point shooting, and block shots. Taylor Harrison is all everything. 6'10", 255. He's going to already signed a letter of intent with the University of California.
At Berkeley, because there are a lot of them. He's going to one of the big ones.
3.75 GPA, and he is basically the man. As he goes, so goes San Clemente. The second thing is their 3-point shooting is scary. We talk a lot about how Russell Westbrook has 52 3-pointers for Leuzinger. He would only be second on the team at San Clemente. And the other biggie, which I'm really going to keep an eye on during this game, is block shots, because so far this year, San Clemente has 103 block shots, and 75 of them come from just 2 players. Harrison's one of them, and he's already got 50.
Wow. And as we prepare to see the starting lineups, I think as you see them introduced, there won't be any surprises for the Olympians. First of all, of course, is number 2, Donnell Beverly, 6'4", 175-pound junior, heir apparent to Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook, they're all everything. Russell played the last game, we're told, with a groin injury, which in part explained some of his shooting roles. Big Deshaun Freeman. Freeman, of course, with the knee problems. They call him D, but he's playing through it. Christian Strebling, who plays the post as well.
Number 33, Gary Quaker.
And Gary Quaker. And while we've got a moment, we didn't do it the last game, Mark, but I think we both agreed that off of Leuzinger's last game against Vista Murrieta, Gary Quaker deserved to have been the player of the game.
Career high 14 points, the best he's ever done. And frankly, although the Westbrook free throws late in the game were credited as saving the day, Corker to me is the one that really saved Leuzinger's bacon.
He certainly did, considering the fact that he was subbing for Damon Duke Moore. The first man out for the Tritons is Steve Resnick, 5'11", 155 junior. Next man out is Kyle Tenney, number 25. They run a 4-guard offense. They got one post clear. Fans, when you see him come into your viewing angle, you'll immediately recognize why he's the post man. Osborne, one of the big 3 scorers, averaging 15 points a game.
Also at guard for the Tritons, a 6-foot senior, number 10, Kyle Wood.
Kyle Wood, another one of their double-digit scorers at 15-2. And here he is, as Mark mentioned earlier, already signed to University of California at Berkeley, the senior. 6'10", 255 pounds, Taylor Harrison.
That defines the word a load.
Right. And he's going to be that for the Olympians tonight. Fans, this promises to be an exciting game. I'm thrilled to be here to have the opportunity to work along with Mark Helmer. Our officials for tonight are Shane Smith and King Bishop. Looks like Shane Smith is the referee for tonight's contest. You can always tell the referee, fans, in case you're ever wondering, because he's the guy that tosses the ball up.
And while we're playing this game, the other one of note for us during this round is the Redlands East Valley Milliken game. Redlands East Valley, the #1 seed out of the Citrus Belt League, and of course Long Beach Milliken in the legendary Moore League. The winner of this game will play the winner of that game in the next round. That would be the 3rd round, which is also considered the quarterfinals.
And our colleagues across town, while you're mentioning that, the Hawthorne Cougars are playing tonight. They're hosting at home Ventura out of the Channel League. So we give a good luck wish out to Coach Mike Rios and his squad over at Hawthorne as they try to advance just like these Leuzinger Olympians. Tip controlled by Harrison. No surprise there. Operating in the backcourt with him, that's Kyle Wood with the ball, number 10, giving it over to Tenney. Again, they run 4 guards. They get it down low to Harrison, and Harrison scores on the play. Made that one look real easy, Mark.
Yep. This could be like a Shaquille O'Neal light here. He just threw a hip and somebody bounced out of the way.
Traveling call against Russell Westbrook. Pressure being applied by San Clemente. Russell couldn't find an open man to pass it to.
Both teams average about the same amount of turnovers per game. San Clemente just under 12 and Leuzinger just under 14.
Leuzinger now picking up pressure at half court. Looks like Kyle Wood, number 10, will do most of the ball handling. That's Osborne, another one of 3 scorers. Their 3 scorers are Wood, Osborne, and of course Harrison. That's Wood with the handle. The Olympians in a man-to-man defense at this point. Now they put 3 guys down on Harrison, get the ball loose. So I think we can see some of their strategy right now is to bring a couple of guys at Harrison to see if they can defend against him and make somebody else score. Missed shot, pass thrown away by Donnell Beverly. So with a minute gone by, the Tritons with the early 2-0 lead. Anything jump out at you so far, Mark, in this first minute?
No, they're just kind of feeling one another out.
That 3-pointer doesn't go. However, Strebling mistimed his jump, so it came off to the Tritons, and now we've got a foul call on the reach-in. Looks like that's going to go against number 43, Steve Resnick.
Number 43, Steve Resnick. His first personal, first team foul.
as Westbrook prepares to inbound on the sideline. Looks like we're gonna have a little pressure applied against the ball. Got number 21, that's Osborne. Osborne trying to guard Westbrook. Of course, Coach Mulligan told us in the pregame that his strategy was real simple, and that was to try to stop number 2 and number 4. And of course, the Leuzinger fans know who number 2 and number 4 is. There's number 4 with the follow, puts it back up. Westbrook scores the basket. Leuzinger applying pressure full court, and going to get a foul call against the Olympians. And one of the things that will come into play here, this officiating crew is from the Inland Empire. Leuzinger, of course, plays his preseason game in crews officiated by city referees, which allow a bit more of a physical game. We'll see how much physicality they allow the Olympians, because that can really change their approach. Beverly pushing it up, and it's knocked out of bounds by a Triton.
They tend to be a little bit more polite in the southern section than they do in the city.
Exactly. Well, and the point is that can affect Leuzinger's style of play, though.
It can, because even though they're in the South Bay and they're in the southern section, they do play a lot of other schools, and even on the playgrounds over the weekend, kids that play in the city section.
Donnell Beverly running the offense out top. Still looking for somebody to come loose. Since he's not being guarded, there's no 5 count. That's 33, Gary Corker, our player of the game in the Buena Vista game. Corker with it now.
Looks like a box-and-one defense.
Freeman with the ball. Freeman gets down low. That shot blocked by Taylor Harrison. Shot put up, it doesn't go by Osborne. Now the Olympians looking to run. They turn it over, and so back coming the other way is Kyle Wood. Kyle Wood stops for a 3. It doesn't go. Rebound taken down by Donnell Beverly. Beverly starts to run, then slows it down. Beverly gets inside. Starts off a little bit better than he did the last game, Mark, when he really struggled from the field in the early going. And again, Leuzinger picking up full court. They lead now by a score of 4-2. 5 minutes left in the first.
Leuzinger working out of a straight man-to-man at the moment.
That shot put up way from downtown doesn't go. Olympians don't get their hands on it and wrap it up. Harrison tries to go up and get it, can't pull it down. Westbrook now pushing it up the floor himself. Westbrook stops and pops. Still struggling to find his shot is Russell Westbrook, playing with the groin injury, we're told. Beverly with the suicide steal attempt, can't get it. Putting the shot up and in is R.J. Osborne. So we're tied at 4 with 4:20 left in the first. Freeman's shot from outside doesn't go. Westbrook skies to get it, puts it up and in, and the official, King Bishop, says score the basket.
Fouls on number 21, R.J. Osborne. His first personal.
They give the foul to Osborne, so Westbrook will go to the line with a 3-point opportunity.
Deason checks in for the Olympians.
As Deason checks in, Gary Corker checks out.
Shooting 1.
Westbrook, as we mentioned, boy, his free throw shooting the other night was the difference. Boy, he misses that one. Fortunately, it's in the early going.
Resnick with his second rebound of the game so far.
Westbrook on Wood, boy, they get it down to Harrison. Harrison facing a double team every time he touches the ball.
You can see why 3-pointers are so big on this team. If it doesn't work low post, just shoot it from the forest.
Exactly. And I'm sure this isn't the first time where he gets it on the low hip. Doesn't get it to go, but he's fouled by Deshaun Freeman. When he gets you on his hip like he just had Deshaun Freeman, and they give him that entry pass down on the low block, that's a load to stop.
His first personal. Second team foul. Taylor Harrison at the line.
Low scoring contest so far. Coming into tonight's contest on the season, Leuzinger averages about 14 points in the first quarter. San Clemente about 15. Harrison misses the first of the 2 free throw opportunities.
And he's nearly a 70% free throw shooter, which for one, a center and in high school is pretty darn good.
And he misses a pair, and skying to get it is Ralph Horton. Donnell Beverly a little bit out of control. Freeman looked inside, got a glimpse of Harrison, and decided wiser of it to kick it out.
This is a good example, except for Harrison. Leuzinger's entire team is basically taller than all of San Clemente.
Wow. Shot put up and in by Demetrius Juice Deason. Good hustle defense by the Olympians. As you can see, what they're doing is pressuring the ball. If we get a shot of Coach Reggie Morris over on the sideline, boy, and he's bringing in substitutions plentifully.
Chad Rusinkovich coming in for San Clemente, along with Sean Smetona, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Stepped all over his tennis shoes, didn't I? And I wasn't going to do that.
That shot put up for, wow. You got a jump ball there. You need to call it, ref. This isn't the kind of action you want to let get out of your hands.
Well, that was nearly a Harrison rebound, but he never had control.
But his size is just phenomenal. If you saw how he took that rebound down, literally by just jumping over the players in front of him.
So we'll just call that a team rebound for Leuzinger and let it go, because I have no clue. Really had a shot at that one.
Leuzinger content to spread the offense, dribbling, puts the shot up from the outside, can't get it to go. Now we got a whistle and a foul underneath. Looks like it's gonna go against the Tritons. Our score fans with 2:26 left in the first is 9-4 in favor of the Olympians. An early lead for them, considering Mark in the last game against Vista Buena, it was halfway through the third before they got their first lead.
Yeah, and then it's a different play tonight. And look, no backcourt there, good.
Right.
Now they can bring it forward.
And that's a new rule change. You and I remember the old days, you threw it back there, that was an automatic backcourt violation. Now at all levels of basketball, they permit you to toss in the backcourt. Beverly goes up, can't get the shot to go. And now we got a foul called underneath, and who's this gonna go against?
Foul is on number 13,
Wow.
Taylor Harrison.
They called a foul on Harrison underneath. Clearly.
His first personal, fourth team foul against San Clemente. That was a nice way of saying we're showing our age there with that backcourt rule.
Absolutely. Now another foul call.
Foul is on number 14, Christian Stripling.
Okay.
His first personal, third team
As you said, as we noticed, and wow, I'm sure from our camera point we can see the crowd that you're seeing, fans, is the Triton crowd. They have a full house here, and folks are still coming in the gym. Westbrook, wow, that's got to be close to an intentional.
No basket.
No basket is the right call.
Fouled on the floor before he went up.
Foul is on number 10, Kyle Wood. His first
Foul
personal,
goes against Kyle Wood.
Well, this would also help. We're closing in on the bonus pretty soon here for Leuzinger, the way things are going at the moment.
The Tritons with 5 team fouls, Leuzinger with 3. 2 minutes left in the first. Westbrook's off-balance shot put up, doesn't go. And now we've got a foul call. Officials are calling it real tight underneath. Well, real tight.
number 23, Ralph Horton.
And it'll be up to the players to adjust. That's the first thing you learn as a basketball player. You have to make adjustments to the officiating.
Well, apparently Shane Smith and King Bishop do not want this to turn into a hack job against the big guy.
Big guy goes up, tries to dunk it, can't get it to go. And now they're going to say that Ralph Horton stepped out of bounds as he attempted to ignite the fast break.
I believe Russell Westbrook had the rebound there. Then when they started the cavalry charge, somebody went out of the right area there.
Three-pointer put up and in by R.J. Osborne. Dribbling shot from the perimeter goes up and in. And that's a part of what they're going to try to do. Full-court pressure being applied by the Olympians is to draw Harrison away from the basket by having their big man put up three-pointers. Another three-pointer put up and in. That one by Kyle Wood. And our score now 11-10.
Well, it's going to be that kind of night. And there's another block.
As Deason attempted to go baseline, got hung up and had the ball taken away.
He ran right into Harrison's hip. That's like running into the side of the gym.
Exactly. Now the trick for San Clemente, boy, I tell you, you live by the jumper and you die by the jumper. Come on, Donnell, you got to do a little better than that, son. Donnell still struggling to get his shot going. Blocked by Russell Westbrook as he slaps it up into the third or fourth row over on the Triton side.
And Westbrook can block as well. He's got 16 for the season prior to that one.
Wow, a lot of contact, no foul, and now the Tritons take the lead at 12-11 with 25 seconds left, and Donnell Beverly goes to sleep on the play, nearly gets it taken away from him. So, we've got 23 left in the first, and Leuzinger, after having a 9-4 lead, has been outscored 8-2 over the last 2 minutes.
Resnick back in for San Clemente.
Leuzinger now looks content to work for the last shot. 10 seconds left. Shot clock is put to sleep. Game clock's the only thing that matters at this point. Beverly's shot doesn't go. 3 seconds left. They'll pull it down. Now they take the shot, and it comes up short. Not particularly good execution by the Olympians there. And once again, we're seeing Donnell Beverly struggling with his shot. And the Tritons, after one, lead by a score of 13-11. On Hawthorne Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22. Gives us an opportunity to remind you fans that this broadcast has been made possible by a cooperative agreement between the City of Lawndale Community Cable Television Channel 22 and the City of Hawthorne Community Cable Television Channel 22. You can watch this game and all of the games this season at 10 a.m. and again at 7 p.m. every Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday on Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22. Speaking of which, Mark, you tell them about if they want to know what's happening on Lawndale Community Cable Channel 22.
And if you'd like to know that, you can have your program schedule delivered right to your email by subscribing to Channel 22 Program Guide. You send an email to channel22@lawndalecity.org and put the word subscribe in the subject area. Send it, and you receive a weekly update on all the great local programming available to you. Getting ready to get underway with the second quarter, and I thought I had the score right, and they had it wrong on the scoreboard. It's 12-11 in favor of San Clemente. They momentarily had it at 13. I think someone had wishful thinking regarding a three-point basket there, but R.J. Osborne's last bucket was, in fact, a two-pointer. They scored the opening basket, as you might expect, from Taylor Harrison, the big, tall player. After that, the majority of the first quarter led almost entirely by Leuzinger until 25 seconds left when R.J. Osborne dropped another field goal. He's now up with 7 points in scoring, and now, once again, the Tritons are out on top.
Leuzinger, in fact, led at 1.9-4 there in the first and were outscored 8-2 over the distance of the first quarter to end trailing by 1 at 12-11. Second quarter underway, the Olympians inbounding it. Beverly out top with the ball, looking for Westbrook. Beverly penetrates inside, can't get the shot to go. Had a decent look, decided not to go for it. And I hate to see when Russell doesn't go for his jumper. Another three-pointer put up and in by Kyle Wood. So that extends the lead now to 15-11. as the Tritons score the first basket of the second quarter.
3 points from the outside, the big guy on the inside.
Westbrook puts it up and in for the three. That's what Westbrook's gonna have to do. Forget the penetration for the moment. Put the ball up on the open shot on the perimeter, get your jump shot going. The inside game will come as you open up the floor.
He's the main three-pointer for the Olympians, and they may need that for the rest of the night.
Harrison way out. Big man showing touch from 15 feet out.
He runs and he shoots like a guard, even though he's 6'10 and 255, and you don't see that every day.
The Olympians right now have on the floor Gary Quarker, Donnell Beverly, Deshaun Freeman, Kristen Stribling, along with Russell Westbrook. They swing it around the Quarker now. 12 left on the shot clock. Get it back over to Westbrook. His three-pointer put up and in. That's what I'm talking about.
Three-point basket, Russell Westbrook.
Westbrook three-pointer forces the timeout.
Back-to-back three-pointers have tied the ball game for the Olympians.
Russell Westbrook with the two back-to-back three-pointers, as you say, ties it. Olympians at one point were down 17-11 there. But they've turned the tide, and at 6:12 left, we're just underway in the second quarter, fans, here at San Clemente High School in this CIF Division I AA.
I didn't see who called the timeout, but I can guess it was probably San Clemente.
It was Coach Mulligan.
Coach Mulligan,
and we should,
a good Irishman, said, "I've had enough. This will lead me to the bar if I don't stop this now."
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because Coach Mulligan, Sean Mulligan, his first name, was very hospitable to us in the pregame, provided us all the information we sought, took the time to share some of his coaching strategies and insights into the night's contest. Leuzinger now showing pressure full court. Donnell Beverly back, pressuring the ball. They knock it away. They come up with it. They got numbers. Wow. They go up, don't get it to go. They still put it up, still can't get it to go. Now they finally, Donnell Beverly puts it in to take the 19-17 lead. Leuzinger willing to challenge them to see how well they handle the pressure. Toe on the line, shot goes up, comes down, however, San Clemente controls it. Looking for Harrison, another shot put up. That one doesn't go. And you're gonna get a foul call against, I believe this foul is gonna go against the Tritons, and it is. The official Bishop making the call. Okay, so they call that on 42, Sean Smatona.
That's the 16th foul, so in the next one, that'll put Leuzinger in the bonus.
Beverly again can't get it to go. It's going to be out of bounds. Again, Donnell trying to attack inside. Donnell at his best, one of the leading assist men in the South Bay. Donnell at his best, setting up other players. Now we've seen for a game and a half, he tried to pick up some of the scoring load, and so far he struggled with the shot.
Kevin White will inbound it for the Olympians.
Gets it into Stribling. Over to Donnell Beverly. Westbrook in the corner, being guarded by Osborne. Westbrook shot up, doesn't go, and it goes off of an Olympian out of bounds. I scored 19-17, 5:08 left in the first.
Basketball.
Wow.
Looks like it's going to be a foul on Beverly for reaching in.
It's going to be a foul on Beverly, and what Donnell is saying to the official, Shane Smith, man, we play that way up in L.A. Official saying, well, you're down in
Son, you're in Orange
now.
County. Have a nice day. We don't do that here.
Which is one of the reasons why I have contended for years that you should have a mixed crew of officials from where both teams play.
R.J. Osborne.
Osborne puts it up from three-point range.
Corner.
Gives the lead back to the Tritons.
And you know, in a way though, Rufus, the fact that the officials are so different, it's not what you enjoy, but it's a good learning experience for the players because, you know, if they go on to play in the college level, there can, you know, the stripes are black and white. The difference in officiating crews can be like night and day too, so.
It is, but the only point I want to make, and a certain way to go, is that if the officials are calling it the way you're accustomed to play,
Oh yeah, then
that gives you a heck of an advantage.
But if you've already played 27 games the other way, you might have a problem.
And it would be the same thing if they were playing up in the city, and with the physicality that they're allowed to play with, these guys would almost go into a shell for being unaccustomed to being bumped and grinded as much as they would be. Westbrook at the line to shoot 1 and 1. Gets the first one to go. Westbrook on the night, 1 out of 2 so far.
That foul was apparently called on Kyle Wood. That's his second.
Westbrook's second free throw is good as well. Handling the ball is Kyle Wood. Gets it up to the big man, Harrison. A little bit far out on the floor for him. Thus far, the Olympians have successfully taken Harrison out of the contest, but of course that's opened up the floor for their three-point shooters. Harrison now gets it on the low block. Boy, he's double-teamed, nearly triple-teamed.
There's really no defense against us as long as the Tritons can drop the three. As long as they can drop the three, there's not a whole bunch that Leuzinger can do about it. Because if they go out to challenge the three-point shooter, it's going into the big redwood in the lane.
Exactly. Of course, that means, boy, you got to live by the jump shot. And of course, as you noted earlier, they're a pretty good percentage shooting team. Donnell Beverly dribbling out top, 18 on the shot clock, 3:32 in the half. Leuzinger leading by 1 at 21-20. And Westbrook pulls up for another jumper. That's what I want to see. Russell Westbrook shooting jumpers. Because I tell you, if he does that, the Leuzinger defense forces another turnover as Ralph Horton intercepts it, gives it off to Westbrook. He's now working on the perimeter, gives it over to Donnell Beverly, who's attempted to penetrate all night. Beverly's shot put up. He was hit on the arm, no call. Now we got a jump ball.
How that could be, I don't know, because possession that time was taken by Ralph Horton.
Triton basketball.
Leuzinger's going to have to get another scorer to help. And so far tonight, that secondary scorer for them, role normally played by Duke Moore, whom we've already acknowledged being out due to academic difficulties, getting himself ready for next season. But somebody tonight is going to have to step up and put some additional scoring in. Skying is Russell Westbrook, as he does so often.
Well, Westbrook averages 25-9 a game. He only had 11 against Vista Marietta. He's already got 14. Including a block and 2 3-pointers.
Looks at the official, thought he was fouled. Three-pointer put up. Doesn't go. Not a single Olympian made a play on the ball as they watched it come to Kyle Wood. And now we've got a foul call that's going to go against number 21, Kevin White.
Kevin White, his first personal, 6th team foul.
Kevin White will go off, and Juice Deason will come on, along with Gary Quarker. Christian Stribling goes off as well. Coach Morris on the side directing traffic. Boy, the ball's loose. Coming up with it. Here we go. Sorna gets it to Donnell Beverly. Donnell puts a shot up from the outside. It goes, three-pointer. Donnell Beverly. Now the Olympians leading 26-20. They led at one time 9-4, so this is their largest lead of the game at 26-20.
I don't expect a lot of turnovers in this game, but the way it's going now, the ones that occur could be huge.
Again, the Olympians get caught flat-footed. That's twice in a row on offensive rebound opportunities. They never even had a guy jump for the ball.
Less than a minute and a half remaining in the half.
Westbrook tries to draw the foul. Contact underneath, no call. Shot put up, doesn't go for Ralph Horton.
1 minute to go.
Clock under a minute now. That shot from the outside doesn't go. Donnell Beverly skies for the rebound. Beverly looks around. The big man isn't there. Now's when you attack. There you go. Big man was trailing the play. Big man being Taylor Harrison. And right now, Harrison looking just a little bit winded. Under a minute left, 28-22.
5-point run by Donnell Beverly alone.
Right.
A three-pointer and a two-point basket.
Another turnover. Olympians come up with it, looking to add to their score. Give it up. There you go. 30-22 with 24 seconds left here in the first. Leuzinger's largest lead of the game at 8, 30-22. So the Leuzinger pressure defense contributing to this run. They get it underneath to Harrison. Wow, they score the basket. Here's what they're going to have to learn as Coach calls for the travel call. I would encourage Coach Morris to respect the coaching box, ride the official just a little bit. 2 seconds left. I scored 30-24. Harrison at the line to shoot one. Shots up, it's good if it goes. Hits the front of the rim, Kevin White from about 50 feet away. And after one half, wow, an exciting one half so far. The San Clemente Tritons at home trail the visiting number 4 seed Leuzinger Olympians by a score of 30-25, Mark.
Interesting ball game, and I was wondering, Rufus, I was going to ask you, and maybe you can't answer this, but if Leuzinger has seen a team so far this year, anything like San Clemente, where you have 4 shrubs in the yard and 1 big oak tree. I haven't seen a high school team like this in eons.
I don't think that they have. They've seen a variety of teams, but you're right. Most teams have a bit more size balance than what San Clemente has. Now, what they have seen is the same style of play that San Clemente is playing. They've seen that in the West Warriors. They've seen it in Redondo Beach in the Seahawks, all right? So the style of play they're accustomed to, and I got to say they're doing a pretty good job as you prepare to run through the scoring count on Big Taylor Harrison here in the early going.
Well, we'll start with the Olympians because they're the visiting team. Donnell Beverly, by my unofficial count, 9 points, 5 rebounds. At the end there, he scored the final 5 points I should say 5 of the last 7 points for the Olympians in the closing couple of moments there. Russell Westbrook, kind of off track in the last game where he only had 11 points against Vista Murrieta. This time at halftime, 16 points, 4 rebounds, make that 5 rebounds, and a block shot. 3-point basket for Demetrius Deason and a 2-pointer for Christian Stribling. He also has 2 rebounds, 2 rebounds unofficially for Horton and 1 for Gary Corker. For the San Clemente Tritons, Kyle Wood, 8 points, including 2 3-point baskets, shooting 2 for 4 from 3-point range. Taylor Harrison, the big guy, 7 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 block shots. And R.J. Osborne, their big 3-point threat, he has 10 points and 2 of 3 in the 3-point range. Meanwhile, Sean Smetona 1 rebound, and Steve Resnick for them, no points, but 3 rebounds, all of which were important for the offensive effort by San Clemente. As long as the 3-point shots keep falling, Leuzinger's going to have to be careful here. But so far, so good for the Olympians.
So far, so good, as you say. Now, one of the things that I noticed, and I like your observation, was first of all, Russell Westbrook early on attempted to penetrate and score. Didn't have much success at all. You aren't going to have much success against Taylor Harrison. We talked about his
but you
shot
got to
blocking,
try.
but you got to try. But when he went back to his bread and butter game and set up on the perimeter and started draining jump shots, his game just opened up. As you say, he's got 16 points here in the first half. And I can guarantee you most of those were on jump shots rather than drives to the basket.
Well, one thing that Coach Sean Mulligan of San Clemente said is we've got to try to slow down Donnell Beverly and Russell Westbrook. He knows that. That's like the worst kept secret on the planet. And it didn't totally work because they're the 2 highest scorers in the game. And they're late in the second quarter, they came down the floor, and it was one passing off to the other. And you could see the lone defender for San Clemente's eyes get about 3 feet tall of, I am so all done.
Exactly.
And if that keeps going on, if the passing lanes remain open, that could really seal it. Be interested to see if they can fast break in the second half, but the 4 guards that are surrounding Harrison, these guys are not slow. So it's not quite the track meet we had against Vista Murrieta the other night, but it's not a slowdown game by any stretch of the imagination.
It's not a slowdown game, but the San Clemente guards are struggling with the Leuzinger pressure, as you saw. I mean, several of the Leuzinger baskets have come off of turnovers, particularly there late in the second quarter when the Olympians finally made their break. Let us go back and remember that at the end of the first quarter, the score was 12-11 in favor of San Clemente. And as we went to the half, it was 30-25. So the Olympians scored 19 points there in the second quarter, as opposed to the 13 that were scored by the Tritons. And that's pretty consistent with their on-the-season scoring. The Olympians, boy, they just get stronger as the game goes along. And San Clemente is fairly consistent. They're averaging about 14. As a matter of fact, the only time they go above 14 is in the fourth quarter when they drop 15 points on average. Leuzinger, on the other hand, just increases their output as the game goes along from 14 to 17 to 18 and a half to almost 19 points.
That was something I was wondering if it would happen the other night against Vista, was just conditioning, if they could run them into the floor, because sometimes that can be a real biggie in high school athletics, is the conditioning program from coaching staff to coaching staff. And you can see some teams run out of gas late in the ball game. That did not happen with Vista,
No.
as you know if you watched that one. But well, so far so good here as far as San Clemente keeping up with Leuzinger. But the fast break, you're right. They get the rebound, they come down the floor, and there's not really a whole lot of resistance being put up by the Tritons of San Clemente at this point for that offensive showing by Leuzinger.
So, at the half, fans, we remind you once again our halftime score here at San Clemente High School as we're on the road in this second round CIF Division I AA 2006 basketball playoff game. The Leuzinger Olympians lead by a score of 30-25. And we'll be back in just a few minutes for second half action. Okay, as we prepare to come back for the second half, fans, with the Olympians leading 30-25. The second half will start momentarily. Just found out, Mark, that the Hawthorne Cougars, in a very close contest over at the Cougar Den, Kai Courtney Gymnasium, right now staring at a 5-point deficit, but playing very well against that number 1 seed, the number 1 seed out of the Channel League. They weren't number 1 seed overall in Division I AA, or Division 1A, I should say.
Ventura, right?
Ventura, that's right. But the Cougars have them at home, and boy, there's no worse place to have to play than in the Cougar Den. So we wish Coach Rios' team good luck, and if we get any additional information, we'll pass it along to you.
Interested to see what kind of adjustments either team makes here. If you're Leuzinger, there's really not a whole lot to change. you can't really defend against the Tritons' three-point basket, but we'll be interested to see if San Clemente tries to press a little bit more and stop that fast break.
Leuzinger makes one change in their lineup as they start the second half, and that is Ralph Horton comes on for Deshaun Freeman. Deshaun over on the far sideline on the bicycle, and the real question is going to be how quickly can they get Deshaun back. Horton with it down low, gives it off to Westbrook. Westbrook was fouled on the play, no call. My goodness. Scores the basket, though, and that extends the lead now to 32-27. Their largest of the lead was 8 at 30-22.
One change for Leuzinger. They've brought Cale McCartney in for the second half. He's the other shot blocker.
You mean a change for San Clemente?
I'm sorry, for San Clemente. So that's 75 blocks on the floor between he and Harrison.
Between the two. I suspect Coach Morris knows that, and he'll instruct his players to work on their jumper just a little bit.
Well, Coach Mulligan of San Clemente said they've got to block out on every shot, and they did not do that in the first half, and that's how Leuzinger got to him.
Donnell Beverly with the ball, gives it off to Stribling. He loses the handle momentarily, gets it back, looking for somebody to pass it to, gets it to Donnell Beverly. Beverly operating up top, boy, has an open shot from three-point range, can't get it to go. And again, Leuzinger offensive rebounding, really not up to speed so far in this contest. The crowd extorting the Olympians to keep their hands up. Now they get it down low to Harrison, steal by the Olympians. Beverly with the push. Signals to Westbrook to keep going to the other side. Stribling has it over on the perimeter. He made a shot from there earlier. Our vantage point blocked. Whoever came through couldn't get it to go. Olympians have had a couple of scoring opportunities they let get by, and boy, does R.J. Osborne make them pay for it with a three-pointer. Well, now they give him a 2 on the play.
Yeah, he had a foot on the line.
Wow, no call there. Mike, I'm not sure what these guys are seeing. Fans may think that I'm calling it, you know, because we're broadcasting for Leuzinger. I'm calling it, folks, as an official myself. I just saw that's a foul 7 days a week.
Okay, we've had a turnover. I know you said it was a rebound down on the floor the last time, but this is what looks like turnovers in a row by San Clemente. They cannot afford that to happen now.
Absolutely not. Not if they expect to stay in this game. That basket by Westbrook takes the lead back out to 34-27 as the foul goes against Steve Resnick.
That's his second personal first-team foul against San Clemente in the second half, and Westbrook walked.
Out of bounds, Triton basketball.
So, the Tritons with 5:19 left here in the third, trailing by 7 against this number 4 seeded Leuzinger Olympian team. Really got a sweat up against them as Resnick pushes it up. Stolen by Donnell Beverly. And Beverly can't get it to go, and it's going to go out of bounds as that was Resnick with the good hustle on the play. Resnick is 5'11", 155-pound junior, but he's bringing a lot of energy out here.
I'm going to do what I can, Rufus, in the second half, playing statistician and color guy at the same time to track the turnovers here, because it's already 3-1 against San Clemente, and they cannot afford to keep doing that.
Good look inside, and Christian Stribling scores the basket, and Coach Morris looks like he's calling for man-to-man full-court pressure. You can't let your guy beat you like that, though. That was Gary Quarker that got beat on the play. Our score now 36-29, 4.5 left in the third.
Whoops, oh, that was close.
Now a zone being shown by, wow, near turnover. They tried to get it underneath the Stribling. He's got control of it. They can call travel against them.
Turnover by the Olympians, out of bounds. Triton basketball.
A couple of three-pointers by San Clemente, and the turnover margin here could be huge.
And number 42, Sean Smetona, returns to the Triton lineup.
Deason comes on the floor now, as does Smetona.
Mentioned this in the first half. San Clemente averages 11.9 turnovers per game. Leuzinger, 13.9.
Ball out top to Resnick. Now over to, that was to Smetona initially, then Resnick. That shot put up from the outside doesn't go. Boy, Harrison bulls his way, loses the ball. Almost dipped his shoulder on that one. Could have got an offensive foul called. Donnell Beverly with a little dipsy-do. What we need right now is points in addition to ball handling. Too early to get overconfident. That shot doesn't go from way downtown by Westbrook. And the Olympians break it up as camping out underneath was R.J. Osborne. Thought he had an easy deuce, and Coach Reggie Morris calls for a full timeout.
Was that
Lawndale?
Was Westbrook credited with a rebound down here?
I'm not sure. It looked like he may have been. So, at the timeout with 3:22 left in the third, the Olympians lead by a score of 36 to 29.
And Gatorade, all sponsors of the 2006 CIF Southern Section Toyota
So,
Basketball
you can watch this
Championships.
broadcast in the city of Hawthorne by tuning to Channel 22, where the program guide plays continuously unless there's a show airing.
Yeah, Channel 22 Sports would like to thank our sponsors, Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites in the South Bay, the South Bay Workforce Investment Board, and Ralph's and Food for Less for their generous support in making these games possible.
Congratulations goes out.
And last but not least, we certainly want to extend a huge thank you to the Lawndale City Council and the Hawthorne City Council for their continued support this year and throughout the years that we've had the opportunity to bring these games to you. And they've just announced, and
I didn't know that, but that's
congratulations,
incredible.
right, that the Triton cheerleading squad are the national cheerleading champions. That means we should be seeing them on ESPN pretty soon on the
And I know
cheerleading
we're too old to
competition.
be doing this, but shall we just say that if we were 18, they're easy on the eyes.
Exactly. But hard on the wallet. I've got a couple of friends who have daughters who are cheerleaders, and I mean,
That's right.
that business runs into the thousands of dollars.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Losing
There's
fans.
there's two words I learned to spell in school: credit card and shopping mall.
Right.
And you're paying.
That's Smetona with it out top, gives it over to Osborne.
That's three. Oop.
That shot doesn't go. Westbrook comes down with the rebound. That was Kyle Wood, one of their big three scorers. Westbrook looking for an open angle, finds it. They don't come down with the rebound as number 21, Osborne, is 21. Wood is 10. That's all I need to know. And of course, 13 is Harrison. Wood with it, gives it over to Osborne. They run a baseline play. They don't get the guy coming across the baseline. Now he goes the other way. Harrison gets it. Harrison's shot doesn't go. Boy, they've really defended the big man well tonight. And Auburn made him a non-factor as Christian Striblin is loose underneath with nobody home. Scores the easy deuce. And now the Olympians lead by 9, their largest of the game at 38-29. And that three-pointer put up Rusinkovic. So all these guys, it's pretty clear, Mark, that the one strength, in addition to Harrison, which was no surprise there, that all these guys can do, and that is shoot. Their four guards can shoot from the perimeter.
Basketball. Number 12, Cale McCartney.
Well, it's now four turnovers to 3 in the second half. One more, and it'll be all even if Leuzinger lets it go that way again.
Smetona goes out, and substitute comes in for him. We'll get that for you in a moment.
Look out.
Three-pointer. Put up and in by Kyle Wood. So again, Beverly with the ball out top. Minute 20 left, 20 on the shot clock. They get it underneath to Horton. Wow, what do you call that a flop if I ever saw one? If you want the fans to believe that Ralph Horton just knocked over a 6'10", 255-pound center. That's the Vadi Divac player tonight right there.
The only bad news is Horton's third personal.
His third personal. First team foul.
That might be somebody you're going to need later on.
It certainly might be, and I'm sure pretty soon Coach Morris trying to buy time.
Oh,
to the
there
end
was
of
a
the quarter.
backcourt violation the ref missed.
Leuzinger, and we have a traveling call that goes against Osborne.
Number 33.
Fifth turnover.
Checks in for the Olympians, replacing number 23, Ralph Horton.
Fifth turnover by San Clemente. Reggie Morris is contemplating a nervous breakdown over there.
Right.
It's like, you need to extend your arms, keep your arms up. And
so the Olympians just a moment ago had a 9-point lead at 38-29. They've been outscored 6-0, and they had that lead reduced to 3 points.
Chad Rusinkovich with one of the three-pointers and Kyle Wood with the other. Wood's the leading scorer now for San Clemente.
Excellent save by Gary Corker as Donnell Beverly lost the ball on his drive to the basket. Corker in the right place at the right time extends that lead back out to 5 at 40-35.
That's his first points of the night. Last game, of course, he had a career-high 14.
Wow, off the board with a tough shot. That was Cale McCarthy. So now with 11 seconds left, the Olympians, I'm sure, will clearly hold for one shot. I don't expect this ball to go up. With 4 seconds left, Beverly's shot doesn't go. And that's it. That's no good. Doesn't even have a chance. It was after the whistle. After the horn, I should say.
The visiting Olympians 40 and your San Clemente Titans 37.
So the Triton crowd gets a rise out of things as they shave 2 points off the halftime lead. Boy, they played pretty good defense as they held the Olympians to 10 points in that quarter. And they scored 12 of their own.
But
so,
there is no defense against this three-point shooting. But the one thing I have noticed is that in the early going of the game, they tried to pass inside to their big man, Taylor Harrison. They have all but stopped that. All he's there for is rebounds. And if you take him out of the game offensively, that could be a biggie because he's their leading scorer at 16 points a game. And right now, he's got 7. Through 3 quarters, he has not scored at all in the third quarter. So if they can't go inside to him and they live and die by the three-pointer, they're one team that can do that, but I don't know if they can win the game without Harrison scoring in the fourth quarter.
And I think you're exactly right. And it wouldn't surprise me if they run out as they start the fourth quarter. We'll see. And it's going to come in to San Clemente to open the fourth quarter. So although they're down by 3, they'll have an early opportunity to tie this ball game on their three-pointers. You're right. The Olympians have done a great job of taking Harrison out of the game thus far, but there's still 8 long minutes left.
And he has not gone to the free throw line. He's a 70% free throw shooter there. And he has really not been an offensive threat because Clemente's trying to get back in the ball game with three-point shots. Well, the crowd's behind him.
Yeah, the crowd's behind him. The other problem for the Olympians is that Deshaun Freeman did not make an appearance in the third quarter at all. He's off the bicycle. The Olympian crowd yelling for defense. Olympians right now in a man-to-man defense. Westbrook cuts off the drive attempt. Nearly stolen. Long cross-court pass. They get it underneath. The shot doesn't go. Rebound taken down by the Olympians. Boy, Harrison had it at point-blank range. Couldn't get it to go. Donnell stops and pops. And this is the most vocal Leuzinger crowd I have ever seen, fans, in my 18 years. The most vocal Leuzinger crowd on the road in particular. They brought down a huge contingent, and that may be the difference to get them over the hump tonight. Foul call underneath, and all the noise, you couldn't hear it. Looks like it's going against Christian Stribling, as they call the hole on Christian. Can't blame him for that, though. He's the guy with the duty of guarding Harrison. Olympians again controlling the board. Westbrook with it, pushing it. Wow, they've got to see. Come on. It takes forever for these guys to make the foul call, and the foul happened 3 or 4 seconds before the ref decided to make the call.
Foul is on number 12, Cale McCartney. His first personal, second team foul. At the line for the Olympians.
5-point Olympian lead, Westbrook to shoot 2. And fans, in case you wondered, let me remind you again, we are the official broadcast network for Hawthorne, Lawndale, and Leuzinger High School. That pass across court, blocked there by the Olympians. Westbrook came across. They've got numbers. Beverly slows it down. Gets a handle on it. Harrison
Did
back
Beverly
in.
make that block?
I believe that was Westbrook with it. 20 on the shot clock, plenty of time. Olympians can afford to be patient and look for the good shot. Move the ball around. Boy, that's not the shot you want, I don't think, with Stribling shooting a jumper from 15 feet. If you're going to shoot a 15-foot shot, that has to be Westbrook. That shot put up and in by Kyle Wood.
It can change that quickly. Kyle Wood, the leading scorer for San Clemente. He leads the Tritons with 16.
And these guys make it look so easy, this San Clemente team does. Once again, Stribling with it on the perimeter. You got to get the ball in the hands of Russell Westbrook. Stribling now attempts to drive the basket. Can't get it to go. That's 2 shots taken by players other than Westbrook. Now they've really got to guard the three-point line.
Another
Yield the
three-pointer. We
deuce
got a ball
inside.
game.
They have got to let Russell Westbrook shoot the ball. 2 trips up. You got other guys doing it. This is the time.
Number 14, Christian Stribling. His third personal, 13th foul.
And now we have a timeout taken by the Leuzinger Olympians.
That bucket is scored at 5:31 of the 4th quarter. That's the first points scored by Harrison since the first half. But in spite of that, they're a point behind.
They're a point behind. Leuzinger opened the quarter. Here the 4th, leading 40-37. They've been outscored 5-3. And now the Tritons trail by just 1 with Harrison going to the line to shoot for the old-fashioned 3-point play.
And we'll remind you again, in case you joined us late, the winner of this ball game will meet either Redlands East Valley or Long Beach Milliken in the quarterfinals of the CIF Southern Section Division 1 AA basketball championship.
And for the fans, if they're wondering, if Leuzinger wins and Redland wins, then Leuzinger will host Redlands at Lou House. If Leuzinger wins and Milliken wins, then they'll have to go to a coin flip. And that flip will take place first thing tomorrow morning at the CIF offices.
And even if they lose that coin flip, it's a nice drive down the road to Long Beach.
Exactly.
To face the Milliken Rams.
And for me, it's only a 2-mile road trip from home.
Long Beach is hometown for me.
Yeah.
Oh, so there was also a foul on that. And now with 5:31 left to go.
It was. They gave the foul to Stribling.
So Harrison can tie it. 70% or near 70% free throw shooter.
Saw him miss too early. Gets that one to go, though. And so, we're all tied up at 43. It's a 5.5-minute ball game, fans. That's what it's come down to for both of these teams. You're in the playoffs. It's simple, one and done basketball. Lose and you go home.
And you're seeing two completely different styles of the game. Both are effective. And the turnover thing could be huge. 5 for San Clemente, 3 for Leuzinger at this point, unofficially.
And Westbrook loses the ball. Had a lot of contact on him. Harrison keeps it. Harrison bulls underneath, and now he's going to get a foul call.
Foul is on number 14, Christian Stribling. His fourth personal, fourth team foul. At the line for the Tritons, Taylor Harrison, shooting 2.
Harrison shooting 2. Here's what I don't like that I'm seeing. I'm going to be quite honest with you. Russell Westbrook is drawing a lot of contact with no calls. On the last play, the contact was substantial. The crowd tries to get him off his mark. He scores 1 out of the 2. Now they get it over to Stribling, gets it back to Beverly. Beverly pushes it up. Beverly's jump shot doesn't go. Horton tries to keep it alive, nearly undercut. 4:30 left in the game. The Olympians down by 1 at 44-43. Here comes a double team. Horton skips under it, scores the basket. And now they lead by 3 at 46-43 in favor of the Tritons.
They may have just awakened the sleeping giant.
Wow, three-pointer put up by Westbrook doesn't go. Ooh. Tries to draw the traffic. And now
Harrison put 2 arms right in the abdomen of Westbrook.
What they're looking
and he did
at,
not get called for a flagrant foul. And I'm not sure if Russell's putting on an Oscar-winning performance here or if he really got hurt. He definitely got the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah.
But you're talking about a 255-pound player running into somebody who weighs only 170, and he threw him a forearm like in the National Hockey League, and you wonder about ribs in that case.
And you can see this coming from a mile away. I tell you, now the fans will understand what I was saying. I just said a moment before that the Olympians were drawing the same kind of contact. I knew they were going to attempt to penetrate. Now you have the official over trying to give some reasoned explanation as to the call that he's making, or either.
And if you'd like to make your dinner and dancing reservations early, keep in mind Harrison's going to Cal Berkeley. And Westbrook could end up at UCLA.
Right.
We'll see you about a year from now.
Exactly. And now we're going to have the official attempting to calm down the situation is going to bring, let's see.
I don't think he even called a foul on that because he never saw it. I happened to be looking at Harrison, but both officials were away from the ball, or away from that play. They never saw it.
And you're right, there was no foul call. They're simply going to give the ball over to the Olympians. Westbrook had to come out because the coaching staff came on the floor. Coach Morris not wanting to use a timeout. Leuzinger trailing by 3 at 46-43. 3:43 clock running left in the game. Donnell Beverly right in front of our booth here with the ball. That shot put up by Deason, and it goes! Ties it up. They've got to get there. Now we get a foul call, and this will get the Olympians upset as Deason runs off the floor. Now they change it. They change it to a charging call. They changed the call. However, Leuzinger players, you must maintain your composure at this point. Do not pick up a cheap technical. Let your coach do the dealing with the officials.
That three-point basket, if I saw it correctly, was by Demetrius Deason.
It was indeed. I would get the ball in the hands of Russell Westbrook. Fans, it's real simple. Get the ball to Russell. My goodness.
5 turnovers apiece now. This is going to be close.
Come down with it. Slow it down, son. Slow it down.
Foul away from the ball. He pulled on Harrison. Look out.
And that foul's going to go on Stribling. And right now, the Olympians are not playing under control at all. Fortunately,
foul is on number 14.
That's Stribling's 5th foul.
His 5th personal foul. 5th team foul.
So Stribling fouls out with 2:43 remaining in the game. 5th team foul for the Olympians. If it wasn't in our camera frame there, Harrison was going up for the rebound. Stribling grabbed him by the arm, and there's a storage room at the end of the floor, and he basically threw him into it. So that's the payback for Westbrook.
Coach Morris takes advantage of his full 30 seconds. One of the disadvantages that he's had to work with, and we've only got 2:43, and that is that Deshaun Freeman has not been in the contest in the second half at all. Ralph Horton now will need to step up big. I think the Olympians have got to guard the three-point line as much as anything else. You give away the 2 if need be. You don't want to give up the 3.
This was a 4th place team out of the South Coast League. El Toro won the league.
Well, when you've got a league that's got the likes of El Toro, Mission Viejo, and Capistrano Valley, you're playing in a tough league. 6 on the shot clock. The pressure defense steps up. He steps into it. Harrison comes down with it. They strip Harrison of the ball. Score tied. Westbrook has it. Westbrook, he's grabbed on the arms. Good call by the official. Finally, we see one that should have gone that way.
6 turnovers to 5. That looked like it was going to be one for San Clemente.
You know, I've seen Russell Westbrook play against a lot of players. I can tell you unequivocally, there's not a player on this team that can match up with him one-on-one. And that's why I keep saying the Olympians need to get the ball in his hands and let him take whomever his man is. Come on, Ralph, be smart now.
It's probably going to come down to Westbrook versus Harrison the way it's going. Less than 2 minutes remaining.
19 on the shot clock, plenty of time.
Beverly setting up the next play.
Blocking. And that'll be the 16th foul.
I think it's on Rusinkovic.
But it's a 16th foul against the Tritons. That's going to send the next team foul will send the Olympians to the line. There we go. They get it in. Beverly has it.
1.5 minutes left.
Full shot clock.
Harrison is having a little get-together.
I wish Horton would settle down, though. He's got to understand. Don't get caught up in this, son. You know.
Timeout. Losing it.
You know, he's got to understand the flow of the game, what's happening out on the court. This is not the time to get caught up in it. If Harrison wants to try to bait you into the foul, which he's trying to do, and right now Unfortunately, Ralph is falling for the bait. He's got to maintain his composure, play his game, not worry about that. Let the officials take care of it.
Especially in that case, because Horton doesn't have the ball.
Exactly.
And you're not going to really get a foul out of Harrison just by making him mad. But what you may do is get a slam dunk in your face in about 30 seconds doing that stuff.
Exactly.
Well, 1:17 left. If you just joined us, you showed up at a good time. Minute 17 left, 46 all in the second round of the CIF Southern Section Division I AA Finals. We're in the beautiful San Clemente High School Gymnasium. The crowd across the court from us, that's the home crowd of the Tritons, and behind us, a real good turnout by the Leuzinger Olympians.
Excellent turnout by the Olympians. Well, as we look back and look at their crowd, they inbounded with 17 on the shot clock. They're looking to get it to Russell Westbrook, I'm sure. Donnell Beverly still with it. Now they get it to Russell with 7 on the shot clock. Westbrook from downtown, three-pointer. Now all they got to do is guard the three-point line, and give Harrison the deuce inside. Whatever you do, do not foul Harrison on the inside.
Is that a timeout being called?
No, it was ball out of bounds. Olympian defense knocked the ball out of bounds.
Right at the 1 minute mark, Russell Westbrook with the three-pointer. Now we're going to have the San Clemente timeout.
And I'm sure when they come over that what Coach Morris is going to tell them is, again, guard the three-point line. If you have to, give Harrison the shot inside. It's only a deuce. We up by 1. We get the ball, and we force them to foul us. We got 16 fouls. They have 16 fouls, I should say. The next foul sends you to the line to shoot 1 and 1. To me, that's your strategy.
Just get out of the way and let him do it. But like you were saying a few moments ago, don't give away the three-point basket, because these guys are so good that they could wait till the finals moments. Well, they have to even the score up. But as a team, they're shooting 40% from three-point range. And the two big three-point shooters, R.J. Osborne, he has 68 of them for the season. Kyle Wood with 52. And they're both over 40% from three-point range. And this is in high school.
Right. I mean, again, and they've demonstrated that. Win, lose, or draw, both of these teams have played a heck of a game. The Olympians haven't come into a hostile but friendly arena. And we say hostile in the sporting sense of the word, that the Triton fans here clearly came to support their team. Boys, you look all along the front row, the season ticket holders.
The thing that I think would be interesting now too, of course, like you said, the Olympians will probably let the Tritons have the bucket, but I'd give the ball to Harrison and just have him try to get as many Olympians in foul trouble here as he can, but there's not even really enough time to do that.
Because if you're gonna foul Harrison, you gotta make sure he doesn't get his hands above his waist.
Remember, he's a 70% free throw shooter.
Leuzinger in a man-to-man defense. They're guarding the line. Deason has to step up on his man. They're to kick it inside. Why they let a guy get loose? I have no idea, but they come down with it and they give it to Russell Westbrook. Gets it back to Deason. Hard foul given by Taylor Harrison.
I was screened out there, Rufus. Did Russell get the rebound?
I got to be honest, I couldn't see which of the Olympians underneath came away with it.
Number 13, Taylor Harrison. His second personal, 17 foul.
There's your bonus.
At the line for the Olympians, Demetrius Deacon, shooting 1+1.
Deason with a chance to put this thing away, and San Clemente, Coach Sean Mulligan is going to attempt to freeze Deshaun Deason at the line, as he'll be shooting a 1-1 when we come back from this timeout, with the Olympians leading by a score of 49-46. Mark, what more can you ask for?
This is about as good as it gets, and we're only in the second round of the playoffs. Now, if you're a hardcore basketball fan all the time, much like the NCAA tournament, the first two rounds of the tournament are usually where you play, Whittier Teachers College and Pico Rivera State.
Right.
But that's not really. We've had 2 wild card teams here that have probably scared the hell out of Coach Reggie Morris.
Oh,
Next week, we get into the 3rd round. If they survive this, that's when it starts getting serious. So if this is just a
it's
warm-up,
Friday night when you get into the 3rd round. You don't get to wait till next week. You got to be ready 2 nights from the night.
so if this is just the warm-up,
Yeah.
well, I'm going to go ahead and give that rebound because I couldn't tell to Demetrius Deason because he was in the neighborhood, and I don't think that Westbrook got it. And speaking of Demetrius, he's at the line.
Well, big free throw here, the biggest of his life for Demetrius Deason, 1-1. Shots up, comes off, short. Now, once again, they got to get there to defend the 3. The 3 is put up, it doesn't go. It come down, the Olympians have it. What's the call?
Baseline violation.
Wow.
Ball.
It's
Triton basketball.
going to be Triton basketball, and Tritons will take another timeout. I think if we really want a clear view of the action down on that baseline, Mark, at least I know I'm going to have to stand to see it.
Well, Horton got the rebound, but he fell on the baseline when he got the ball. And the timeout was taken by San Clemente.
Shot clock, not the shot clock, excuse me, the possession arrow favors the Olympians in case there's a tie-up. Any type of jump ball or alternating possession call will favor the Olympians. The Olympians are in the bonus. They have a foul to give. They have the lead at 49-46. There are 13 seconds on the clock, but, and this is a huge but, San Clemente has the ball to inbound. And they have 3-point shooters galore. And again, I say coming out of this, the Olympians must go man and just guard the 3-point line. Forget Harrison inside. Give him the deuce.
Yeah,
get the ball, spread the length of the floor, make the layup, and put this thing
This
in play.
should be the easiest bucket in the history of the world for Taylor Harrison. Just get out of his way and get it and sit on it. 49-46, 13 seconds remaining.
Well, the fans are standing and
on both sides. That's the Leuzinger traveling crowd behind us.
And right now, they're making a lot more noise than the San Clemente crowd. Here comes the inbound play. Here it is, stolen by Donnell Beverly. San Clemente gets the ball. There's a scrum on the floor. No, we got a jump ball. No, we got a jump ball, and it favors the Olympians with 8 seconds to go.
Possession arrow to Leuzinger.
Stolen by Westbrook. Then he inbounded on a turnover. The ball was recovered by Rusinkovic
Leuzinger has 2 men.
for San Clemente.
Whose timeout is this?
Timeout San Clemente. Rusinkovic intercepted Westbrook's pass, so that was a turnover.
Timeout San Clemente.
Then the scrum started, we got possession.
The scrum
Turnovers, 7-6.
Great statistical work, Mark. And let's admit, boy, this has been, because in this type of game, every play, every possession, there's action.
Well, we're talking 1 bucket, and we've got a difference of 1 turnover. And that's the kind of game that it's come down to, just right there. And I'm going to give my editorial comment for the evening. It's nice in high school and college ball, but I miss the days of the jump ball versus the possession arrow.
Yeah.
That would add another whole element to this. Of course, if you and I went out and tried to jump against Harrison, it would be a comedy of errors, but it kind of deflates it here where...
So Leuzinger will have it to inbound. Let me ask you, what do the Olympians need to do to seal this victory at this point?
Inbound the ball as far away from Harrison as possible, and other than that, just wait for somebody to foul him. It may be over for the Tritons right here.
Well, I think it's simple. Donnell Beverly's at the back of the line. Now they get a guy behind him because all Beverly was getting ready to do is sprint. Boy,
There's
and
the
they
foul
get it to Russell Westbrook. That's the other thing you want to do is get it to your sure-handed free throw shooter. Westbrook will shoot 1 and 1. Westbrook just needs one to basically end the contest, I would think.
Line for the Olympians, Russell Westbrook, shooting 1+1.
They've got to be aware of all the shooters on the floor. There's one over here. Westbrook misses. I would give the foul.
Look out.
Goodness.
Did they call timeout?
No. Westbrook gave the foul. I think he gave the foul over on the side. Yeah, that's what I would do. Okay. Now, once again, all you got to do is guard. You got to be a man-to-man defense.
That might have been a bad idea. The clock was running down.
Guard the three-point line. That shot put up doesn't go. Ball game. The Olympians win. The Olympians win, fans. The Olympians win. 49-46.
The Olympians of Leuzinger High School, 49, and your San Clemente Tritons, 46.
A great effort by the Tritons of San Clemente. They were gracious hosts. Their fans give them a huge cheer as they leave the court. They did get a last shot at it, couldn't get it to go. Rebound comes off, and the Olympians come down.
That was a good high school basketball game. Well played on both sides.
Absolutely. We've seen two great games, and we give a lot of credit to the Leuzinger Olympians. We're going to hang around, see if we can, in fact, get a word with Coach Morris. Let's take a moment to recap it. I'll work on it. Our score, once again, the final, 49-46, as the Olympians outscored them. No, they both scored 9 in the quarter, but the Olympians made their three-point third quarter lead at the end of the third quarter lead stand up. They led 40-37 after 3. Let me just recap the whole thing for you very quickly, fans. First quarter, they trailed at the end of the quarter by a score of 12-11. They led early 9-4. San Clemente outscored them 8-2 down the stretch to go to end the quarter leading 12-11. At the half, Leuzinger took the lead at 30-25 as they finally got on track. Russell Westbrook drained a couple of three-pointers back-to-back. Their biggest lead there in the second quarter was at 8, 30-22. They went in the locker room at the half, leading 30-25. In the third quarter, they jumped out to a 9-point lead at 38-29, but the Tritons didn't go away. They fought back, and the quarter ended with the Olympians holding a 40-37 lead. That 40-37 lead opened the fourth quarter, and the contest ended with the Olympians leading and winning by a score of 49-46. And once again, it came down to a huge play at the end of the game. San Clemente looking for a three-pointer to try to tie it. Shot came up short. Olympians came down with the rebound. There was Gary Corker who came out of there, and Corker came out with the rebound, and that sealed Leuzinger's win here in the second round of the 2006 CIF 1AA playoffs. So now, here's what we know, fans, conclusively, is that the Leuzinger Olympians will be playing on Friday night. The only unknown is where that game will take place. Now, we could speculate that if form holds, that Redlands did win. We can speculate that Redlands won the game, and that, of course, that Redlands team, and I'll get that for you in a moment as I look, Redlands East Valley. There are two Redlands high schools out there. Redlands East Valley, which was a number 5 seed, they were playing Milliken tonight in Redlands. If Redlands won, fans will be playing Leuzinger at home. Leuzinger will be playing them at home. If Milliken won, there will be a flip tomorrow morning. So either way, the good thing for the Olympians is, man, they'll be close to home.
And this is 2 ball games where things have been very close. Of course, 1 point in the first round, 3 points here, and now we've come to the third round next, and we're going to get into the really serious part of the playoffs, as if it wasn't serious enough already. This is the way some of the scoring looked so far in tonight's game. Of course, we'll start with the big guy for San Clemente, Taylor Harrison. 13 points on the night, 2 block shots, and I have him unofficially with, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rebounds. 12 points for R.J. Osborne. This was a big guy for their three-point shooting. 2 of 3 there. And then Kyle Wood, another one that was huge for three-point shooting. 16 points on the night. He had 4 of 6 three-point shooting. 2 points for Cale McCartney, 3 for Chad Rusinkovich. And that would round it out the 46 points for San Clemente.
Absolutely. We're trying to get Coach Morris over here to our vantage point. He'd need to share a headset with us. If you'll bear with us, why don't we take a quick break on Hawthorne Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22 as we try to get a word with the winning coach, Coach Reggie Morris of the Leuzinger Olympians. We'll be back in a moment.
Okay, I'll go get him.
All right, fans, we're back with head coach Reggie Morris of the Leuzinger Olympians. Coach, congratulations, first of all, on an outstanding win on the road. You brought a full crowd with you tonight, which is a first that I've seen in a long time here. But down to the game, the guys pulled it out. How'd they do it?
That's been the MO of this team the whole year, is that we win close games, a lot closer than we need to make them. You know, I think because of the fact that we have some guys who may defer to Westbrook and Beverly, we don't go ahead and put teams away. We're looking for them to do the work, but for some kind of way we battle and we stay tough and we stay strong, and you know we find a way to win games. I couldn't tell you how we did that, and we just did. You know, it was a low-scoring second half. I think we only scored 19 points, but if you hold the other team to 16, then you're okay.
Exactly. Now, your team did a great job of defending Taylor Harrison. It looked like the strategy was every time he touched the ball, there were 2 or 3 guys on him. It cost Christian Stribling some playing time as he gave up his 5 fouls. But Ralph came in, played well against him. Deshaun Freeman didn't get a chance to play in the second half, though.
Oh, his knee's been bothering him all year. He's got growing pains. He's a big kid, and you know he just is continuing to grow. And so you know we take what we can get from him. He battles as long as he can, and he's the type of kid that lets you know when he can't give you anymore. And I appreciate all that he is able to give, because you know he gave Christian probably some more time. And when he finally comes about, you know he's going to be one of the better players in the state of California. So I'm just waiting for him to finally heal up, and we'll take whatever we can get from him, because he's a big body and he's skilled and he got the heart of a lion. So we'll take what we can get from him.
Couple of more points. It looked like there were some stages in the game when they were, if you listen to the broadcast, I hate to say it, so I'm letting you know early, when it looked like they were going away from Russell just a little too much, especially after he seemed to have gotten his shot going and he was dropping them pretty consistently.
Well, I don't necessarily know if we were going away from him. You know, we have some sets that we like to run, and, you know, they start jumping out on the screens, and, you know, I think they did a good job at really trying to take him away. At the whole second half, they double-teamed him every time he touched the ball. So I thought that I tried to run some things maybe for some other guys to kind of take the focus off of him and then come back to him. Like when he hit the shot for the game,
right.
You know, he went and took it himself, and he's capable of doing that all night long. But, you know, I guess as like everybody out there, I don't like sitting through these heartbreak games, so I'm trying to get other guys to be able to be focused and to get some confidence. So we ran a play or two to Christian. We ran a play or two to some other guys who don't usually get plays, because, I mean, Demetrius Deason hit a big shot. You know what I'm saying? Guys who aren't particularly used to having their number called, I have confidence in those guys. So I want them to be able to make some plays so that it loosens up for Russell. I mean, I got to go back to the drawing board as a coach and come up with some more creative things, because we got to run our offense through him, and I am aware of that. But, you know, we got to loosen it up, and other guys got to contribute too.
Let's talk about one huge intangible tonight, the crowd here.
Mm-hmm.
Stands are empty now,
Mm-hmm.
but there were more people here tonight, 60 miles down the road, cheering the Olympians on, and I've seen on some nights at Lou House.
Yeah.
I mean, and they were vocal, and at one point they were out cheering the San Clemente fans. What kind of factor was that for this team being on the road in a hostile environment?
Oh, I mean, they see it all the time. I mean, since I've been here, I've been trying to tell you about, we're trying to build a legacy, a tradition, a program, and I think people are starting to finally rally behind us, not only in the South Bay, but because Russell's good, he's getting some followers. Not only do we bring people, we bring college coaches everywhere we go, because everybody wants to take a look at Russell. And so I think people fall in love with this group of kids because there's some kind of way they make it happen. But I think now more and more they want to keep finding a way to please the people that are jumping on. And you know, I'm real pleased that we were able to bring so many people out. And I just hope that, I mean, I thought the crowd last Friday's game was real large too. And I think there's still a culture that needs to be that needs to progress at Leuzinger, just as far as, you know, when you go to a Westchester or you go to a Dominguez, they know how to cheer at a basketball game. They know what things to push, what buttons to push, what things to say. I think we're developing that, and I think it's just all in the making right now. So hopefully we get a game back at home. That's what we're really hoping for, because this was a tough
So
trip.
you hope Redlands won.
Hope Redlands won, but if Milliken wins, I think it's still a coin flip.
Yeah, it is. It's
Yeah.
a coin flip if Milliken wins, and if Redland wins,
We're at home.
You're at home, absolutely. That research I already did for
Okay.
you. That I can tell you. And
Well, you had the liberty to do that. I was just trying to focus on this one game. So,
You're right.
but no, I'm glad somebody's looking. But I took a peek at it too, just in case.
And the thing about it, as we were saying to fans, man, even if it's Milliken, boy, it's a short trip.
It's a shorter
man,
trip.
It's a short trip. You're close to home. The fans get to come out again and pack our side of the stadium and cheer the Olympians on. So it's a great effort. I want to congratulate you once again, Coach Morris, on behalf of your entire squad, your coaching staff, your players, and the fans. You came and you put on a great show for Hawthorne Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22 fans. Going to go to break here momentarily on Hawthorne Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22, and we'll come back with a wrap-up.
Thanks, Rufus.
Thank you. All right, we're back, fans. Once again, to remind you, our final here at San Clemente High. The Leuzinger Olympians move on to the quarterfinal round on Friday night, February 24th, courtesy of a hard-fought 49-46 win over a very game and talented wild card San Clemente Triton team. And you were talking earlier, Mark, about, boy, they've played two wild card teams, and these teams certainly have not played.
A little bit more wild than we really needed. But before the game began, the coach for San Clemente, Sean Mulligan, said we have to stop, as he called it, number 2 and number 4 for Leuzinger. Of course, that's Donnell Beverly and Russell Westbrook, and that's not exactly what they did. The scoring looks like this, starting with Westbrook, the kind of game you would hope to have from him. 24 points, 2 block shots in the game as well, and we've got him for 7 rebounds. Donnell Beverly, 11 points. He also had 5 rebounds, make that 7 rebounds, and the two of them combining for 35 of the 49 points scored by the Leuzinger Olympians. Demetrius Deason with 6 points, both from 3-point baskets. 6 for Christian Striebling, along with 2 rebounds. Ralph Horton, no points, but 4 boards. And Gary Quarker, 2 points and 2 rebounds. So everybody giving a little bit there. And, of course, the biggie shot, the 3-pointer with a minute left by Russell Westbrook. And that's really what sealed the deal. And now we move to round 3. And I don't think we need to doze off.
No, not at all, because round 3 is going to be heck of a game. As we know, we don't know yet whom it'll be. It'll be either the Milliken Rams out of the Moore League or out of the Citrus Valley League, Citrus Belt League, excuse me. It'll be the Redlands East Valley team. That Redlands East Valley team, boy, 25-4 overall going into tonight's competition. That Milliken team 17-10, but they were number 2 in the very tough Moore League, which has the likes of Jordan, which is one of the top seeds, the number 2 seed in Division I AA. Los Alamitos is number 1. Long Beach Poly, which is always a perennial powerhouse.
You play anybody and anything in the Moore League, you're ready to go.
So Milliken playing in that league, trust me, don't let the 17-10 record deceive you. It's guaranteed either team to be a great game. But as I talked about, and as you will note, the big thing that really, really helps Leuzinger, because we were in this position a couple of years ago, and man, when you've got to go 90 to 100 miles away from your home gym, that really cuts down on your fan support. But Leuzinger has the upper hand now, because if Redland wins, they're at home. And even if Milliken won, they've only got to go 15 miles down the road to Long Beach.
Well, I think we're out of time here, but we can get ready for that. So let's do it again in a couple of days.
Absolutely. Well, once again, if you've got a choice for player of the game, we need to wrap that up, and then we're done on the Olympian side.
I think it's RW. He got his game back. Russell Westbrook, 24 points, and if I counted right, I got him for 7 rebounds, 2 block shots, and of course the game-winning 3-pointer with a minute to go. That's player of the game as far as I'm concerned.
And I second that emotion. So Russell Westbrook is our Holiday Inn Express and Suites Hotel player of the game. One final time, I am Rufus Washington, along with
Mark
my friend
Helmer.
Mark Helmer, Eric Chavez, and Ryan on camera tonight. We've had a split crew, but it's been a pleasure working with you. And we've had the best part of this so far, I think. And we just want to say once again, fans, the final from San Clemente High School. The Leuzinger Olympians 49, San Clemente 46. That means we'll see you this Friday night somewhere on Hawthorne Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22. Thanks for joining us, fans, and we'll see you soon. Good night.
The preceding presentation of this Channel 22 Sports Game of the Week was brought to you in part by a generous donation from the Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites, South Bay. The Holiday Inn Express is partnering with Channel 22 Sports to help promote our young people in sports competition and academics so that everyone in our community wins. The Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites. Stay smart. The preceding presentation of this Channel 22 Sports Game of the Week was brought to you in part by a generous donation from the South Bay Workforce Investment Board. The South Bay Workforce Investment Board is working together with Channel 22 Sports to promote an environment where everyone can maximize their career potential and so that all employers have the human resources they need to grow and prosper. The South Bay Workforce Investment Board. When you need us, we are there for you. The preceding presentation of the Channel 22 Sports Game of the Week is brought to you in part by a generous donation from Ralph's Food for Less, the nation's premier price impact supermarket chain. Food for Less is proud to be working with the community to enhance the lives of everyone by providing a diverse selection of products and customer service and by reaching out to support the communities in which we serve.